When you piss off the king of combat, things turn deadly fast. These gangsters had no clue what kind of monster they were provoking. A split second later, an explosion sends the thugs stumbling, and the mother and daughter sprint back to the house. Scott boots a goon across the yard, fires 2 quick shots behind him, and dives inside just as another wave of bullets tears through the air. Locked down behind cover, Scott fires back, but the enemy is hiding behind boulders, too well protected to hit. All he can do is lay down suppressing fire, slam the door, and shove a bookshelf in front of it. The gangsters unleash a storm of bullets. They're completely trapped inside. Then Scott's sister spots an old rifle hanging on the wall, finally useful after decades. She snaps in a drum magazine, steps to the window, shatters the glass, and starts firing. But the thugs are crouched low along the hillside, making them nearly impossible to hit. The gang leader loses patience. He orders a full-force assault. They want to torch the house, but they can't, not yet. Scott is carrying something they desperately need. So instead of burning him alive, they push in aggressively, but Scott doesn't fear them at all. These small-time killers aren't worth his worry. A reckless thug charges into the house, but Scott's return fire shoves them back instantly. He tells his sister and niece to get upstairs while he continues fighting. Soon, his rifle runs dry. He switches to a handgun. During the reload, 2 gangsters burst through the doorway. Upstairs, his sister empties her entire magazine. The little girl grabs the landline and calls the police. 2 more thugs sneak in, guns ready, walking straight into a death trap. The moment they reach the stairs, Scott appears from the side. One is dropped instantly. The other wanders cluelessly into the living room, unaware Scott has slipped behind him. They wrestle violently, stray bullets smashing into the ceiling. One round even catches his sister in the shoulder. In hand-to-hand combat, Scott is a beast. One punch ends the fight. The gang leader radios his men, no answer. Both thugs he sent inside are dead. So he deploys more attackers. 2 flank the walls outside. One climbs through a window. Another rushes the front door. Scott grabs an AK off the floor. It's go time again. With the enemy closing in, he retreats upstairs where he can use the height advantage. The thugs hesitate, scared to push forward, but they know they can't stall forever. One slowly creeps up the stairs. The moment his head peeks over the top, Scott turns it into Swiss cheese. He orders his sister and niece to escape through the window. She hesitates, not wanting to leave him behind, but Scott lays down heavy cover fire, forcing the attackers back and giving her a chance to flee. A thug creeps toward the door. Click. Out of ammo, Scott kicks the door open, dodging a gunshot. Then he charges in with brutal efficiency. He drags one thug down the stairs like a ragdoll, using his body as a bullet shield. He leaps into the next attacker. The 2 of them locked together, guns clattering to the floor. Scott empties his mag point blank. The thug switches to a handgun. Scott lunges in first, knocking it away. They crash into the living room, trading blows, smashing furniture, until Scott finishes him with raw strength. Meanwhile, the mother and daughter reach the garage, only to be stopped cold by the gang leader, gun in hand. They're helpless. He plans to use them as leverage to force Scott out. But suddenly a police officer appears from the side and shoots the gang boss through the chest. Except, this cop isn't here to save anyone. He's corrupt, and he wants the same valuable USB Scott carries. He tries to restrain the 2 hostages. When Scott suddenly appears and shoots him down, the cop survives thanks to his bulletproof vest, but he's wounded and outmatched. Scott gives him 2 choices: end yourself or turn yourself in. The corrupt cop tries to fight instead, and that decision seals his fate. In the end, the mother and daughter hand the USB to international authorities, securing the evidence that cost so many lives. As for Scott, he disappears back into the shadows, beginning yet another chapter of his life on the run, a lone warrior hunted by criminals, cops, and ghosts of the past. And that's how one man dismantled an entire criminal squad with pure skill and zero fear. What would you have done in Scott's situation? Fight back or run for your life? Personally, this movie delivers next-level intensity. Let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like to help the channel out.